you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting up with Team 1 in the north and ending with Team 2 in the south, also known as the blue team versus the red team. Starting off with Team 1's northwestern player, pretty much isolated from the other two players on Team 1. It is Mushroom Charmer. He's playing as a Cybran in Stitch Blue as a 1284 rated. To his east in Royal Blue, it is Ferv, the Billy Nuke Ambassador himself. He is a UEF. He is a 1604 rated, the highest rated player on Team 1. And next door to him in Amethyst Purple, another UEF for Team 1. It is Chaos Spire playing as a 1531, again in Amethyst Purple. So over Team 1 side of the map, they have two UEF on the eastern side with a Cybran on the west. No Aeon and no Seraphim for Team 1. Running off with Team 2's isolated player, we have in Ruby Red, it is Warren Casey. He is a Cybran. He is a 1256 rated. To his west in Chevy Crimson, it is the one and only Seraphim of the game, being Baller. He is a 1665 rated, the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. And last but not least, for Team 2 on the western-ish side of the map, it is Roscoe 400 in Orange Color Orange as a Cybran. He is a 1473 rated. So for Team 2 side of the map, there are two Cybrans flanking a Seraphim, which means they don't have UEF tech, but they also don't have Aeon tech, which means for the entirety of this match, there are no Aeon players. Apologies to those loyal to the princess. Hopefully you enjoyed the game nonetheless. And for these 6 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 24,000 mass in reclaim, which makes it 4K mass per player. That is a hefty amount of reclaim per person. And honestly, there's not a big clumpage of it. I see 630, 530. It's just really not a big, this is where you want to go kind of thing. It's very much dotted around the map everywhere, so more than enough to go around, at least for now, of course, because no player can have enough mass in this game. But at least in terms of the distribution, it's just shotgunned everywhere. The mixes, unfortunately, for this map, there's really not a lot of them. There's a huge, just devoid of mexes on this western and eastern side. Don't mind that little mex that's been grabbed by that little circle there. There are 2 quad mix positions in the middle, one, of course, for each team. There's also a quad mix in the back, which is going to go to Chaos Spire for Team 1 and Roscoe for Team 2. And there is a couple of Trimex positions for each team as well. So are there expansionary mexes? Yes. Are there a lot of them? No. So players are going to be a little bit more stingy with their mexes, at least in terms of their income there. They might dip their toes more into the artificial side of things. We do see 2 civilian structures in the middle of the map, a couple of T1 gun emplacements, as well as some T1 AA emplacements, just to annoy some T1 either strikers or normal tanks or whatever units. Besides, of course, the Lobos and other T1 artillery, because they are outranging those T1 PD. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at where our players are headed off to. Looks like everybody went to the middle of the map. 2v2 on the western side, 1v1 on the eastern side. So it's going to be Chaos Spire versus Warren KC for Team 2 versus Baller and Roscoe for Team 2 versus Ferv and Mushroom Charmer for Team 1. I cannot talk today for some reason. Couple of engineers dropped off from Team 2's Roscoe. We do see some interceptors a little bit late to the party. Team 1 PD defenses to protect the engineers. There is an engineer from Team 1 right next door, but that's not going to do much against that PD emplacement, and it's dead anyways. So a couple of spam facilities will be established on a little bit further beyond the front line. We do see Ferv out in the middle of the map. No units surrounding him, but again, it's very early. We're talking about less than 6 minutes, so at the bare minimum, there would be maybe a couple of T1 bombers, but that's about it. So it's not really something he needs to worry about. Longer term, of course, definitely someone to be concerned about. But for now, he's fine just kind of hanging out all by his lonesome. But he does have some forces moving in, so he's not going to be alone for long. Some forces stacking up on the eastern side. There's a lot of little avenues, every which way dotted around the map. We see, avenue up there, another one dotted that way. So there's a lot of ways to kind of get around this eastern and western side. Unfortunately, it's very constrictive. So large land armies, good luck. Your main avenues in this game are going to be essentially, well, actually, it's not even that. It's more like this. And, of course, mirrored on that western side as well. So not really a lot of opportunities for players to get large armies around the map. I kind of expect maybe transporting units to be a little bit more viable. 2 guns started, 1 for each team. Chaos right behind Warren. Of course, damage and range for Team 1 and speed and range for Team 2. These for the Cybern versus UEF side of things. We do see Mushroom cleaning up the Team 1 engineers from Roscoe. There's a couple of units, but that attempt was not enough. That Medusa came in and wiped out that PD emplacement. Gun canceled for Chaos Spire, coincidentally enough. We do see a Team 1 Jester online, going to harass some Team 1 forces, but that's not really a super concern. A couple of units starting to stack up in the middle for Team 2. Ferv kind of pushed out of that facility he was building, and he's going to be probably just slightly annoyed about that. But again, nothing too crazy. Team 1 has grabbed the eastern civilian structures, grabbing that reclaim. Trying to fuel their economies as quickly as possible. Gun almost done for Warren. And then again, that puts Chaos Spire behind in the gun game. Nobody else in the game has gone for any upgrades as of yet. So these are the only 2 players that have any sort of advantage. Or he has one. And Team 1's comm will almost have one here shortly. A couple of forces try to run by. But, they hardly even breach the front doors before Team 1 goes absolutely not. And denies entry. No other upgrades yet. We do see that Mushroom Charmer just patrolling the western side. Maybe he'll grab some reclaim here shortly. But that's, very restrictive in terms of that western side. The main avenue from Team 2 is either here or here. And I don't know if that's going to be viable long term. We do see that Roscoe could push in against Mushroom, but he's going to hold off for now. T2 started for Ferv. Gun now done for Chaos, and gun started for Baller in the middle. So a little bit more guns for Team 2, a little bit more defense versatility for Team 1. We do see a nice little conga line starting to form for Team 1 on the eastern side for Chaos Spire, who's going up against Warren again. It's gun damage and range versus gun speed and range, so shoots twice as fast or does twice the damage. And first shots have been traded between the commanders of this game, being Warren and Chaos Spire. And those shots from Chaos Spire are missing, every 3rd, 4th, or 5th, whatever number. I can't count very quickly because there's a lot of shots raining in for both of the commanders. We do see the hill kind of making a little bit more difficult for Chaos to really get a nice little line of sight on the commander. And on that eastern side, I think that's going to be fine for now. Maybe Chaos Spire drops into the yellow. Warren drops into the yellow, but again, there's a 2,000 hit point advantage for Team 1's Chaos Spire, so realistically, it's not too bad for that position. Middle of the map. Nano started for Baller. He has gun on board. T2 started. No, sorry, not T2. Missile started for Ferv. He has gun and T2 on board, going for the Billy Nuke, I would assume, or at least the preliminary Billy Nuke upgrades. And Warren really having a discussion with that hillside. There's just kind of a very semi-steep hill here. It's kind of hard to see that in the overview like this, but makes it very difficult to really see that discrepancy in elevation very quickly. Chaos Spire about 7,000, Warren at about 5,000, so still that UEF advantage coming into play, a nice little benefit for Chaos. But again, even if it was a shot for shot hit in terms of Warren did as much damage to Chaos Spire as he did to him, that'd be a murder-suicide if they were in range. So both comms are in kind of a not precarious position yet, but not in a great one. We do see pushing in the middle of the map here. A couple of Ilshis doing a very good job of pushing back Ferv. He has a couple of Mongeese online. He has, again, T2, gun, and missile. And he's shooting some missiles into the T2 mech positions back here. There's one there. He's already grabbed two of them. He's going to grab another one after he grabs this one, I would presume. Nano almost done. And those forces from Baller are continuing to push, and now there's really not a lot from Team 1 here, so they're going to get maybe a lot of mileage out of this. There's this Cenemexes they're going for, and then these ones back here. Those ones are T1s, but those ones are T2s, and that's going to make a bigger impact if Team 1 loses those. Chaos still hitting his shots against Warren over here on the eastern side. Warren dropping below 57, 58. He's almost on 2-star bet. Again, the environment just not a good one for either of these players, but they're constantly just hitting hill after hill after hill. And this is where the artillery comes nice and handy because the shots go up and then back down. So environments, or at least in terms of elevation, isn't too annoying. We do see Mushroom coming up to chase after the Ilshis. And Mushroom, that's not super great. Overcharge does kill off one of the Ilshis. He'll get almost a 1-star vet. But some of those Ilshis still run by him. And there's no forces from Team 1 nearby to deal with that. So that's going to be some dead mexes for Team 1 here shortly. Warren is pushing back Chaos. Chaos on 1-star vet. Warren at 2-star vet. 12,000 total versus 13,000 total. So that gap is slowly coming together. We do see Baller again, Gun Nano versus Gun T2 and Missile Fervy gonna close range, hit him in the face with that missile launcher. 8,000 hit points is what he can do damage to the comm with that missile. Let's see, maybe drop him below 8, and then yep, fire the missile. Let's see, does he get the kill? Oh, just barely misses. Has an overcharge. Almost kills off 2 Ilshis. And that would have been a nice grab there, but he needs just a little bit more in that tank to deal with it. Everything just racing to go after that commander. Missile reloaded. Is going to be even a close range support missile fire. Another set of Ilshis down. He's going to go for the kill. There's the missile launch. He's going to miss. Oh, maybe not. He won't miss. Oh, 600 hit points. 500. Oh, Ferv wants the kill. He's going to go for it. Baller can't get out of range in time. 200 hit points. There he goes. Team 1 scores the first kill of the game. Nice grab there by Ferv. Drops this game to a 3v2 in Team 1's favor. But look at this. Northern side. These mexes are dead. These mexes are dead. These ones are transferred, or these units at least are transferred over for a brief moment before they're given new orders. This mex is dead. This mex will be dead. And I'm assuming these other 3 mexes will die as well. So there's a lot of dead mexes for Team 1. Team 2 barely in the lead, though. We're talking about less than 10 mass a second, roughly, in favor for Team 2. That is not a lot of mass to be ahead. I mean, it's not even almost worth mentioning, but the lead should expand just a little bit more for Team 2 if those Ilshis decide to go into the base, which it doesn't look like they are. Mushroom is actually going to come out to meet them. Mushroom going to take a lot of damage from those Ilshis. Going to drop them either in the red, not in the red, in the yellow, or almost in the yellow. On the eastern side here, Chaos still dealing with the comm of Warren, but with the death of Team 2's Roscoe, Ferv is on his own in the middle, and he's facing off against really nobody besides Roscoe, who is Baller. Sorry, not death of Roscoe, death of Baller. But Ferv, he's dropping below 3,000 hit points, some interceptors or whatever's inbound. Dropping below 1,500. That Whaler's still alive. Oh, another Whaler inbound. Shield isn't going to be built in time. There he goes. Nice counter by Team 2's Roscoe. He came in. Team 1 wasn't undefended with that comm in the middle. And that was the end of that. Yeah, Baller was killed off by a Ferv. And then Roscoe gets revenge for his teammate by killing off Ferv. Now, to follow the trend, Roscoe would have to be the next to be eliminated. And then somebody on Team 1 would be eliminated. And then Team 2 would be eliminated to follow that trend. We'll see if it happens or not. But look at this. Ilshi's moving eastward. More mexes that are under threat. It's another T2 mex that Team 1 is actually still considering is still ahead at 218. And there's still dead mexes up there. So still doing a very good job of microing the eco nonetheless. Again, I don't know what it is about today. I don't know if it's because I had, I don't know, whatever I ate today or something, but just my tongue just doesn't want to work right for some reason. Warren being engulfed in a little bit of singeing there. Nothing too bad. He's just a flesh wound almost. Just put some aloe vera or something on it and call it a day. Those Ilshis up to the stop. Still alive. There is a Janus just raining fire from the heavens. And that Ilshi is just going to bake
A nice little potato. 2,700 mass killed, but that one almost 2,700 mass killed, but that one I don't know what the other one killed. Another Janus over the top. They're just baking them. Just extra crispy. Those Ilshis. It's like frog legs, but way worse because they have those really weird legs. Anyway, Team 2's Roscoe just running around the, let's say, front line, kind of in a mix between his main base and his front line base. We do see Monkey has been started for him, not even 18 minutes on the clock, and he's almost half done with it, partially probably driven by the fact that he has a lot of eco to play with. Might as well build an experimental with it. He does have access to the cheapest one in the game. Ilshi doing more and more damage. Janus will not kill off the Ilshi in time to save that mech. That's another set of Team 1 mechs is dead. Again, that's 6 mass a second. It's not a lot, but it's still something. And that Ilshi is still alive. Stealth at 50% and climbing pretty quickly here for Warren on that eastern side. Again, it is 1v1 dead, so 2v2 left alive, and Ilshi is finally dealt with after, 5 minutes almost of them running around. We have T3 gunships on the western side. Lovely move by Roscoe going after more and more mexes, and it's going to be a heavy focus on APM. Does Team 1 or does Team 2 have enough APM? Because this is, for a 3v3 match, it's kind of big. It's not a full 20 by 20. I'd say it's probably about a 14, maybe 15. It's a lot of space to move around, and due to the fact that the land is just annoying to deal with, for, again, sending large armies down some side of the map, air is probably going to be the main focus for the game, at least have a huge impact on it. As we already see with Roscoe, we did see some T2 gunships over the top going after Chaos Spire's comm, but he had a decent amount of flak. Also some Corsairs. That's not going to live much longer. There they go. Nano coming online here for Warren. He's at 40% and climbing. Lots of reclaim going on right in front of his face to fuel said eco. And now we see the forces from Chaos Spire going westward, avoiding this position, just ignoring it. Because what's the point? He's just going to sit there for a while. Needs to be careful of it nonetheless. But we do see that he's falling back anyways. So even if Team 2 pushes in, they still have to catch up to the comm. And by the time the comm gets probably to his main base, maybe Team 2's one would be right about here maybe. And there's T2 units being spammed up. Some pillars right in that intercept path. We do see T3 land is online. Both facilities have T3. So lots of Percys I expect to see here shortly. Decent amount of Cougars starting to run around just for some AA coverage. Looks like the Whalers are going to fall back. AA was built. Nice scouting there. Just sent a couple of ASFs in just to see what's going on. But Team 1 desperately needs to get into the air game because it is not going to be good here shortly if Team 2 doesn't have a plan to deal with air. And this is, again, a kind of a, not a wide open map, but kind of a wide open map when it comes to air for now. So the longer Team 2 has the advantage and uses it, the worse it will probably be for Team 1. But the units on land, though, doing a very good job of just not caring and full sending it. A couple of Team 1 PD emplacements were built in time. Lots of pillars. All the engineers are dead, so nice grab there. So dealing with no more PD construction. But the pillars are slowly being dealt with. There's a couple more Team 1 PDs. Looks like that's the last one there. These mexes are still Team 1s. There is a couple of Renegades online. Ilshi's moving in to slow down the aggression. Maybe the forces from Chaos will get maybe right in front of the base, but I don't expect them to be doing a terrible amount of damage just because there's even some Whalers inbound, and that's just not going to go well for Team 1's forces here shortly. That Trimex position will probably be a minute before it is built back up. Team 1 still in the lead, though. 320 versus 250. It's about 70 mass in Team 1's favor. The Monkey Lord is done, and it's the first experimental built in the game. He's sending it to the middle of the map. There's, again, a couple of Percys. There's 3s. Actually, those are bricks, not Percys. They're just going to act as a nice little movable brick wall. Warren as nano gun and not T3, but 3-star event. I always want to say T3 because of all the T's and the whatnot in this game. But the pillars, honestly, aren't focusing the comm, and even given the environment that they're dealing with, it's kind of hard to hit the comm to begin with. And there goes all the pillars. Some gunships over the top, both from him and from Roscoe, just to assist. just in case. Didn't need it, but it is nice to have it just in case nonetheless. And Chaos Spy has gone back to his base. He's going for an air grid. Team 1. We see Mushroom. He's going for T3 Pigeon that he stopped currently. Don't know what he's up to. Looks like he's producing some engineers. Maybe needs more build power. But definitely needs to get his own, even just gunships or just something online. Even if it's, I don't know, Corsairs or something just to help out in air. Because now we see those whalers coming and going after more T2 mexes. And another Cougar just right off the assembly line. And hasn't dealt with that whaler just yet. Team 1 bomber is just holding station. And that's not going to go well. T3 mechs is being shot up by renegades. Lots of dead Team 1 engineers. That's going to suck for build power there. We do see an air facility just to replenish them. But again, they're kind of just out in no man's land up there. Lots of avenues to attack, but there's not a lot of coverage. So Team 2 is going to use that advantage. Now with the Monkey Lord on the front line, and there's not a lot of T3, either Percy's or Bricks or any of those, big, chunky amount of T2 units. That Monkey's going to be more than enough to deal with anything that Team 1 has for now. GG, well played, says Ferv against, or talking about Roscoe. Probably talking about the fact that the air has been so dominating so far for Team 2. 24 minutes almost on the clock. We have some Cougars inbound, but again, that's one T3 mech's dead. That's almost another T3 mech's dead. They probably should have just killed that off and been done with it. The Whalers driving the... No, the Cougars are driving the Whalers home. Whalers away, not home. I guess they are driving them home technically. But that's another set of mechs. Is that Team 1 still in the lead, 350 to 310, but that number is going to drop even more due to the fact that monkey's coming to say hi. There are some Percys and there are some Bricks inbound. It's not an 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not a lot of Percys, and with the Bricks not coming in behind the monkey kind of counter maneuvers on them. Those are some dead units for Team 1. Not looking good in terms of land or in terms of air. Team 1 needs a big win in some regard, either to take out the ASFs or take out a base or base and a half or something. Not looking too hot. Team 1, of course, lost Ferv right after Baller was killed off by Ferv, so it's 2v2, 1v1 in terms of the dead players. 25 minutes on the clock. Eco's about even. But again, I feel like the lead will definitely go to Team 2 because there's dead mexes over here. There's dead mexes over here. So there's more mexes that Team 2 has online to then upgrade to at least T2 at a minimum. That's 4 per T1 mex that can be upgraded. So that's 8, 12. That's 20 mass a second right there in terms of those T1 mexes plus all the other ones that I probably don't see. Oh, there's another one over there. Well, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because why not at this point hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. I know ladder matches are sometimes more of the slower matches. It's not as big spectacle. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't, but I really do appreciate all the time and attention to give to every one of my videos. So thank you so much. And again, tomorrow is the Viewer Wednesday cast. So if you have a replay, send it to me. You have a chance to get it casted on the channel. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because why not? It's free and it's easy. Click the button, that's it, boom. And if you don't have an account, well, you should make an account, because why not? Anyway, a couple of engineers just being hosed by that laser. That monkey just ravaging this countryside over here. He ran over here, grabbed that Trimex, now ran over there, grabbed that western side. Cinemexes. This attack vector has been just devastating for Team 1. Those Ilshis came in, ravaged around. We see another Monkey Lord. No online for Team 1, but again, it's 5-star vet versus 0-star vet, which means that monkey will win hands down. All of the Percys from Team 1's Chaos, or at least most of them, are heading westward. Eventually, maybe they'll catch up with that monkey. Maybe. Now the only thing that this set of T3 mexes would have had is if this monkey was here sooner, but it doesn't really matter. This monkey will die. The benefit, though, for Team 1 is that the reclaim will be on their side of the map at a bare minimum. There is that brick there. There's no extra veterancy from the Monkey Lord or extra hit points just because it already is. It is at 5 stars. maybe the Monkey Lord will make it home or not. I mean, Team 1 needs either gunships or bombers or something with Janus just to kill off the Monkey Lord, because the closer this gets to the front line for Team 2, the easier it is for them to reclaim. We do see the Perseus might be able to intercept the secondary fire on the Monkey Lord. Is able to hit at a couple of those units, but again, oh, Monkey Lord, oh, not in range yet. Oh, Monkey Lord's got to keep moving. One volley almost wipes out the Monkey Lord's hit points. Second volley. Oh, can Team 1 see him? No, they can't see him. There's the visual. I was like, why aren't they shooting at him? He's definitely in range. And we see some ASFs flying over top for Chaos to get that view on for the monkey. Not for the monkey. For the monkey on the Perseus. I think that made sense in my head somewhere. Tons of Cougars inbound, though. Just eviscerates the air for Team 2. Look at that. And now the Cougars come too close to the sun, and some of them get singed by that Monkey Lord. That's got to hurt, but the Monkey Lord is dead. Look at how far it got. It killed off the monkey for Team 1 up there, and it walked all the way there. And there's already engineers moving in to reclaim. Lovely move by Team 2's Roscoe just to get the reclaim as soon as possible, but isn't going to happen, but lovely attempt nonetheless. We have whalers inbound. We have all of these forces from Roscoe moving in westward to, again, go after the reclaim field. And there is some Cougars here. There's some Perseus here. There's still structures here from Team 1 to scoop up. It's been 30 minutes already in this game, and we're sitting at 74,000 mass on the map, most of it on Team 1's side of the map. I'd say, shoot, 90% seems too high. 85% maybe. So it's a lot of stuff to play with for Team 1. Team 1, again, now is behind in the reclaim. Not reclaim. Well, they're probably right behind in the reclaim, too. Oh, no. Wow, that's actually 85,000. That's a lot higher than I thought. Team 2 ahead in the generated situation. 412, 370. The crab is almost in the green. More air. And more air for Team 2's now. Warren getting into the game as well, at least for T3. He was in T2 for a while, but now he's in the T3 game. The main air player now for Chaos, trying to pump out his own ASFs. Again, this is how the fight is going to happen, is going to be with air. We do see a large land army, and this force from Team 1 is falling back, which, to be fair, even though there's still T3 units here, there's not a lot of them. So 1,000 of anything will kill anything, and they're going to secure the reclaim field now. If there's going to be... Oh, yep, there's engineers already moving in. This will help fuel the rest of that monkey's construction. Not monkeys, sorry, crab's construction. And Team 1 doesn't have any experimentals building yet. Oh, nope, scratch that. Monkey Lord coming online, but it's going to take a minute for that one to be finished. The eco situation now roughly almost the same. Whalers probably should move. Ooh, Whalers take unnecessary damage. We see Perseus being picked up. Why are they being picked up right there is my question. And why aren't the Cougars moving to assist? I don't... Oh, okay, he sees them now. Okay. ASFs moving into cover. Transport moving to the western side to assist. Lovely move by Chaos to drop off at least some forces over... Never mind. That's not where he's going. He's going to try to drop here and walk them. And, yeah, that'll be nice. The only problem, though, is that Omni will see the transport before it gets to its destination. We'll see it right here. So Team 1's not going to be able to hide that for long. ASFs are over here. So as long as the ASFs for Team 2 sit over here and not over here, the transport may or may not make it. The ASFs are slowly moving that direction. Ooh, are they going to skate on by? Ooh, maybe. Okay, there. It's in range of the Omni for Team 2. They can definitely see it now. This is what they can see. They actually know what it is as well. And no pings or nothing. Transport is going to get even closer. Lovely to see that. It's going to drop right in. Not right in. Oh, it could have been dropped even closer, to be fair. There goes the Perseus. You got to move them immediately. Get them into the airfields and take out all the P-Gens. That's the main target. SMD being built. The crab just was built and turns around and goes, okay, no, never mind. Not dealing with this now. T3 mexes are the target. T3, that would be a nice grab. Yep, target that. That'd be a nice grab. Get out of range of the crab as well. Ooh, Whalers are inbound. Unfortunately, I think it's just too much time. If you dropped even closer, it would have been better. But again, there is the risk of it not actually landing, which is entirely fair. But a couple of T3 mechs is dead. That's something. And a couple of Percys break off, but that one's going to die here shortly. And these two might get one of the T2 mexes, but that's probably going to be about it. Looks like the ASFs tried to do something, and I don't know what they were trying to do, but it didn't work, I guess. And there went that. And Percy hits everything but the actual T2 mechs. That's a little unfortunate. That's, you know, it's still some mass a second gone, but not the 6 mass a second. It could have been air fight on Team 2 side of the map. Team 1 now has air control. They're moving into this group of ASFs. There's also Whalers in here, so there's a tiny bit of AA. Maybe they tried to save those Percys, but they were too late to the party. And that'll be all dead units. Some AA starting to be built in the air grid, but not going to be enough to really do significant damage to the air forces for Team 1. So that's air control for Team 1 at 35 minutes 44, so pretty much at air dominance. Nuke has been spotted by Ferv, and it's built and it's loading as we speak. A little bit of assistance, not a lot. Team 1 needs to go for this now. If Team 1 lets this exist, that might be the thing that wins the game for Team 2. There's not a lot up here now. A crab's being built by Mushroom. He needs to... I mean, he's getting land units and whatnot online. He has a monkey. He needs to deal with this, and he needs to deal with this. Once he deals with those two items, that should be more than enough. Crab about half done, working its way up there. And that crab's probably not going to finish anytime soon. It's even paused, it looks like, so that's not going to finish. And we have in the middle not a lot of production in terms of... Oh, they're producing... Okay, that's why, because they're producing gunships, not ASFs. So there's not a lot of forces actually being built, and that's because they're producing more... not more better, just different kinds of units. With the air control, they're going to probably go for that nuke, which, again, it's the biggest target that Team 2 has, so you might as well go after it. SMD pointed out by Fur. If there is an SMD here, I mean, unless Team 1 has a nuke that I don't know about, it's not super noteworthy. But again, Ferv is just saying, hey, by the way, there's a nuke there. Hey, by the way, there's an SMD there. That sort of thing. Just like, oh, be aware of what's going on. And the crab's going to slowly push in. The other forces are going to just ride its coattails and hide behind the 110,000 hit point unit. We do see some T2 artillery. Now, this won't kill off the crab, but it definitely might shoo it away at a minimum. And again, the benefit for Team 1 is that because the forces are grouped together behind the crab, you can see the artillery shell. Sometimes it lands in front of him, sometimes it lands behind him. And that's going to hit all the shielding, all the ilshies, all the everything, and actually do very well for Team 1 if they can hold off the crab. If they can't hold off the crab, that's an entirely different situation. But for now, they're slowly whittling away the shield at capacity at least a little bit. Crab now in range. Speaking of which, though, Monkey Lord is inbound. Crab is in range of the T2 artillery, and that's not great. Monkey Lord going to try to come in from the side. Nice move there. Stay out of sight of its guns. And this has to focus this crab. There goes the crab. It turns to face the monkey. Gives a little bit more time for those artillery to do some more damage. We have gunships inbound. There are some AA units in the mix. And the bricks should be targeting those. And the gunships target those. Nice grab there. But the crab does kill off the monkey. But the crab is significantly damaged. So it won't do that much more damage now. There's one Ilshi pushing in all by its lonesome. 14,000 hit points and falling. Shielding is down. T2 artillery might get one final volley out. And the Ilshis are just going to charge in. So reclaim on Team 1 side of the map. Looks like the... Oh, you could... yeah, okay. Yeah, it's just... Ooh, that was a nice shot from the artillery, though. Looks like AA is going to be built for those gunships. And Ilshis just full send it into the artillery line. And they'll eventually deal with the Ilshis, but not before pretty much all the emplacements are gone. So it was a lovely defense. It worked, but it was a one-time use thing until they rebuild. What is going on over here? Eastern side, we have the forces from Team 1's Chaos. Did they just do an entire hook maneuver around? I guess so. We have lots of AA, but again, this isn't helpful against the tickle cannons because they can't shoot at ground targets because they're not bouncers or any other Cybern mobile AA. And honestly, as much as tickle cannons aren't very useful against high HP units, 1,000 of anything will kill anything, and especially with a lot of Team 1 PD in the mix, yeah, that's not gonna go well. I don't know if there was an attempt on the nuke and they thought better of it and ran away from the monkey, maybe, but yeah, that didn't work. Gunship still alive. Oh, they're gonna get killed off by the ASFs. The ASFs are way too late to the party to save them. Either all of them die or some of them get away, but most of them did die. I'd say about half. So it's a lot of will they, won't they scenarios. That nuke, once it loads and fires, I would assume it's going after this space. There is no SMD. That's a huge oversight. There's an SMD over here, and it's almost loaded, so this space will be protected. That air grid goes down. That might, like I said, be the move that wins Team 2 of the game. New New Megalith. Why does it have to be an M? New Megalith online. Another one being built as we speak. A little bit more air grid. T3 mix is finally being rebuilt in the main base. Roscoe underneath some shielding. Lovely move there. We have ASFs just chilling on Team 2's side of the map. And they don't have the numbers now. Team 2 is in control. Not by a lot, but I mean, they're not really doing anything. There's even if this fight happens, Team 2 would win it because the gunships would be dead, and maybe they lost most of their air ships, if not all of them. Team 1, they would probably lose most. So then the next round of ASFs that come in, that should be enough. ASFs really trying to protect that little squadron or so of gunships. Team 1, it's going to be close. Nuke is up, and it's going for the air grid. At least that's what I would pick. Yup, there goes the air grid, so he has to use it now, and that's the thing. Even if Team 2 loses the air fight, Team 1's not going to have air for much longer, so it doesn't even matter. But gunships inbound for Roscoe's comm. He has no upgrades on board, no additional hit points, no veterancy, no nothing. And the gunships, some of them are actually underneath the shielding. So that's going to help out a ton for just taking damage straight to the comm. There goes the comm of Team 2's Roscoe. He is gone. And it did happen. We had Furv kill off Baller. Baller killed off. Oh, there goes the nuke. Kaboom! We had Furv kill off Baller. We had Roscoe kill off Furv. We had now Chaos killed off Roscoe. So now we need Warren to kill off Chaos and then Mushroom to kill off Warren. And that'd be an eye for an eye scenario. But Kaboom kills off the entire air grid pretty much and the T3 air headquarters. Team 1 has no air with which to speak of. It is absolutely gone. Second nuke is probably going to load immediately. Yep, afterwards. 43,000 Mattis did a great job. Just committed with the spider. I mean, yeah, it was significantly damaged at that point, and there were Percy's right here, or roughly right there, so they would have caught up maybe. Committed with air, yeah, that would have been a little bit better. Now it's Crab v. Crab in the middle. We have Crab not shooting at Crab? Oh, Team 1 can't see Crab. That makes way more sense. I was going to say, why isn't the Crab shooting at the Crab? They're both in range, but I think there's no Omni online, which that's a huge missed... that's a huge oversight, not a huge missed opportunity. It's just an oversight. We have forces slowly pushing in. Again, Team 2's remaining player of Warren is in the southeastern corner. He does have Gun and Nano online and 4-star vet, so it's not like he's completely unprotected, but and underneath the water. So there's that. The only downside though is he's the only player for Team 2 left, and he dies. Team 1 wins the game. That's it. Full stop. But if that nuke goes after the right target, Team 1, that SMD is online. No shielding. That's not great. Definitely needs more power. But once that SMD is down, the other base for Team 1 is vulnerable. The Crab does win the Crab v. Crab fight. Tons of Percy stacking up against that Monkey Lord. That is not gonna be fun for the Monkey Lord. There it goes. It did get 1-star vet in its troubles, though. But again, there's Ilshi's moving in. Yeah, Furb like, just send it. You have to. And he's right. You have some sort of way to go after at least a chunk of the base for Team 2. Again, there's still the air grid and the crab that's online, but this crab, either it goes north or it goes east. Those are its only two options, and going north probably isn't worth it at this point, given the fact that there's two Monkey Lords here, and Team 1's probably putting other defenses as we speak. Or at least you would assume that. Look at that first, just like, go. You got to go. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Team 2. The Monkey Lord isn't being built. There's another Monkey Lord being built. The nuke is going to be close. It could do a close range support nuke. It would wipe out the land army at least, but do you take the risk or not? Team 1 doesn't have a lot of gunships remaining because they used them in that attack against Roscoe. The crab is not moving yet. All of the engineers are moving eastward to assist the Monkey Lord's construction, or at least getting in that direction. Monkey Lord is going to finish here shortly. It's already in the green, and the forces split. Oh, that's unfortunate because the PD is going to be built even more. And there's Titans in the mix. There's Percy's in the mix. Now, this will definitely kill off all those engineers for sure, but I don't know. That mech is still not built. Why is that mech not built yet? It is still there. Team 1, 600 mass income. Team 2, 430. And yeah, he's like just going all the way around, and that's definitely what he should be doing, not go full into the PD line. You're going to kill off some mexes. Chaos finishes a Fat Boy on the northern side of the map. That's going to take forever to walk over to Team 2, or sorry, Trundle on the Team 2 side of the map. There's a crab here guarding the air grid. Frontline base for Warren is now essentially gone. Shielding is lasting a little bit of time, but they're just slow rolling it. They need to just send it. And again, they probably know about the Monkey Lord that's now here. If they haven't seen it, they'll see it here shortly. It's just not good. The longer those PD are in range, the more damage they'll do, of course, and more PD that's going to be built. And the Monkey Lord, that should be the sole focus of the Percys. They're dropping him half hit points now. He might get event. Nuke is inbound, and it doesn't go for a point defense nuke. It goes for the base, and the SMD is loaded. That's unfortunate. The Monkey Lord is down. It will not land, and the PD is slowly being diminished. No gunships of whatever can be really kept over here long term. Even if there's gunships building in these air facilities here, there's enough AA to delay them at least a little bit of time. All of the PD, it looks like, are gone. Another monkey's about to finish. You need to kill this thing off immediately, or it might be enough to defend the base. The nuke is going to be the target, it looks like. That, I mean, at least at a bare minimum, you take that out. It does keep the game going a little bit longer. PGen says focus on that. You kill off a ton of engineers. There goes that. There's still some hives here, but it's going to slow down the construction. The nuke is a target again. You kill that off. There goes that. Kills off some pigeons as well. Just eviscerates that shielding with that ASF. And now in the base for Warren. That's essentially it. Chaos Spy wins the game. He dips out, calls it the day, and there is a desync at the very end, but again, that doesn't count because Team 2 already left. And that is the game. I do feel like Team 2 did miss the opportunity, like Furf said, with the air. My words are hard. But, sometimes, the game is simple, and you don't have giant, big, game enders and nukes and all that stuff. It's just, simple T3 units with, maybe a couple of experimentals sprinkled in there. No satellites, no artillery, none of that. But let me know down in the comments what you felt about the game. MVP, I mean, I think Chaos did a great job. He had his air, definitely missed an SMD there, so that'd be my one little caveat is build an SMD, an ASMD. But, the attack forced Team 2 to leave, and that was it. And the gunship attack did a very good job of wiping out one player. If he wasn't able to do that, I don't know if Team 2 would have... Team 2 might have had enough to maybe keep the fight alive at least for a while longer and maybe win the game. Again, the nuke landed up here, killed off the base there. Didn't kill off the base over here, of course, because the SMD was still there. But even if this base was gone... if that nuke landed, it still wouldn't have been enough to save Team 2 with Warren remaining. But let me know down in the comments again what your favorite moment of the video was. Thank you so much for watching the very end of it. I really do appreciate it. Again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Again, a little bit more of the more relaxed, not super crazy games, but hey, sometimes it's nice to have a little breather. And I will see all of you in the next one.